This is the Impressions Xchange podcast.
Impressions Xchange podcast,
where all topics impacting the graphic imaging and printing industry are addressed via in-depth news coverage, analysis, and timely interviews.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Impressions Xchange podcast. I'm Ashley Roberts, managing editor of the Printing and Packaging Group at NAPCO Media. Today, I'll be joined by Chris Lyons, president and publisher of Brand United Nonprofit Pro and Packaging Impressions, who will give us an inside look at what the labels and packaging and mailing fulfillment and shipping communities can expect from Printing United Expo, which is heading to Las Vegas on October 19th to the 21st. We talk about the packaging pavilion, the mailing, shipping, and fulfillment pavilion, as well as some of the incredible keynote speakers we have lined up. So Chris, thank you so much for joining me today on the podcast.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to be with you as always, Ashley.
Yes, likewise. I feel the same way. So, I know you're, very involved, like many of us are, with the upcoming Printing United Expo. So I wanted to get you on here as part of our series talking about the different segments and what the different communities can expect at the Expo this year, specifically to talk about the packaging community as well as the mailing, fulfillment, and shipping communities. So let's just start things off, like for the packaging community in particular. What can they expect at this year's Expo?
Yeah, so it's actually quite exciting, since we haven't had a chance to have the Expo live in a couple of years. What we have been doing for the Expo and for the packaging industry in particular over the last couple of years is really expanding and growing the scope and depth of the various organizations that we're connected with and that we work closely with. And in this case, we have a packaging pavilion that's going to be on the show floor. It's fairly good size. And we have a number of key association partners that are joining us. So we have the TLMI, the Tag and Label Manufacturing Institute, is going to be there. We have the folks, our good friends at the Paperboard Packaging Council that will be there. We also have the FSEA folks that will be in the pavilion, along with ourselves, the Packaging Impressions magazine team, and the Flexible Packaging Association. And what's kind of cool about the pavilion is that it has multiple facets to it. One is that those organizations are going to have their a specific meeting area there for their leadership to meet with any of the packaging community that would like to meet with them, so that they can come to the pavilion and meet with any one of those 5 organizations. And then for the associations, the FPA, the FSEA, the TLMI, and the PPC, we also have on display the award winners from their annual contest for the best of packaging, the best of labels, the best of paperboard, the best of foil, embossing and decoration, and the best, of course, from the FPA. So it's a very powerful location on the show floor, and it's surrounded by close to 70 exhibiting companies in the packaging space. So these are folks that are creating OEMs and suppliers that are providing and creating products, services, and solutions for packaging printers and commercial printers and other kinds of printers that would like to get into the packaging industry. So if packaging is either what you do every day or something that you would like to do every day, the Packaging Pavilion and all of the packaging equipment suppliers that are on the show floor is where you want to be during the show.
So it really sounds like there's a lot for those who are in the packaging community, but also those who are interested in expanding into the segment. So I do have some questions about the packaging pavilion in particular. So, what's it going to look like? Are there going to be, areas for networking? Is it a lot of, are there tables for all of the organizations and associations? Like, just give me a picture of what it's going to look like.
Yeah, so it's a fairly good size pavilion. It's about 1,500 square feet. And in each corner of the pavilion, there's a meeting area for each of the associations. And then behind that and in the center of the pavilion, there are kiosks, which will be the display kiosks for the award winners from each of the associations. So it's a good size. It's a great meeting area. It's a great networking area. And of course, there'll be a lot of packaging experts that'll be on the show floor and in the pavilion that folks can talk to.
So it sounds like there's even some, educational purposes for the pavilion as well.
Yes, for sure. And in tandem with the pavilion, we also have a conference track that's called the Packaging Forum, which 101, which is for commercial printers that want to explore going into, or any kind of printer that may or may not be a packaging printer today, that wants to explore going into the packaging market. And what that entails is a combination of content. One is a half-hour presentation by Corey Francer, who is our ex-editor of Packaging Impressions magazine, who now is our lead analyst in our NAPCO media research team on packaging. And Corey's going to give a lay of the land of where the market is going and growing. As we know, the packaging market is in a continuous state of growth. It grows across all of the market segments, whether it's flexible packaging or paperboard packaging or tag and label packaging. And some areas like corrugated right now, it's exploding as more and more people are doing direct to home shipping, and corrugated packaging and corrugated branding is becoming an even more important and powerful secondary packaging solution for folks. So all of those kinds of topics are what are on Corey's docket to talk about for the marketplace at the forum. And then there's a panel of 3 package printers that used to be commercial printers and now do packaging. That will be on a panel being led by our Linda Casey, who's our editor of Packaging Impressions and past editor of Package Design magazine and BXP magazine. So Linda's got a broad scope of understanding of what's happening in the packaging market from the very early stages of packaging design and creation to the actual end product on shelf. And so she's going to talk to those 3 printers that are in the packaging industry now, that have invested in it and have been successful in it, and help guide the attendees for the packaging forum to see if this is an area of investment that they want to make. That's going to be on October the 20th. And it's going to be a luncheon from about 12 o'clock until 1:30 in the afternoon. And there's lunch provided. It is limited seating. I think there's only about 100 seats that will be available for folks to attend the packaging forum. So if you do want to do that, sign up fast because those seats and lunches go.
So on that note, do people who are interested in going to this, can they find that information on printingunited.com, or where should they go to find that information?
Yeah, in multiple places, but they would find it in the printingunited.com site. They would also find it as we do more promotion for the show for those folks that are registered. And if you've indicated that you have some interest in packaging, we will also send a note to you alerting you to the fact that it's coming, and that if you'd like to attend, that you should just click on a link and we'll register you for that event.
Great. Well, that sounds like it'll be incredibly valuable to those, like you said, in the industry or in the segment, as well as those who are, not in the segment yet, but looking to learn more. So fantastic. And there might be some, people in the wide format space or commercial printing looking for this education. But there's also something that I want to talk to you about that's more on the commercial side of things, which is the mailing community. So I know we have a mailing, fulfillment, and shipment pavilion at the expo this year. So can you talk to me about that and what attendees can expect?
Yeah, sure. And actually, the push into the mailing and fulfillment and shipping community is very critical to the association and to the event itself. We have close to 100 exhibiting companies that have mailing products, services, or solutions that are part of their offerings. Everything from OEM, press manufacturers, to paper companies, to workflow companies, et cetera, that are all about mailing and fulfillment. It's still a very large market in the United States. Over $60 billion a year is what happens in terms of mailing in the United States. But it's not just mailing. There is the shipping component too for the USPS in particular because of its competitive positioning against the FedExes and the UPSs of the world. And to that end, and as part of this overall effort in the mailing area, we have a pretty big announcement, and that is that the Postmaster General of the United States, Louis DeJoy, is going to do the keynote address at 9 o'clock on October the 20th on the main stage at the show. And that will be limited attendance available. So anybody that's interested in understanding what the 10-year plan is for the USPS and its investment strategy over the next 10 years, they want to come and listen to Louis DeJoy talk about what is going to happen for them and with them, because the USPS is in a very unique position to help many of our member companies and attendees be even more successful in the future with all of the tools and solutions that they currently have, but also with the investments that they're making in streamlining the U.S. Postal Service so that it's a very modern and efficient delivery mechanism for marketers and e-commerce companies. So that's a big to-do. And then we've got these 100 companies that are going to be on the show floor. But in the middle of those 100 companies, we have the Mailing and Fulfillment and Shipping Pavilion. And there we've, like the Packaging Pavilion, we've pulled together some of the top associations for the mailing community so that anybody that's interested in or is doing direct mail today or wanting to understand the USPS's commitment to package shipping and delivery can come and speak to some of these folks in the marketplace and on the show floor at the Mailing and Fulfillment and Shipping facility. We have some amazing associations, the National Postal Forum, we've got the NAPM, we've got the Mailing and Systems Technology Partnership, the IPMA is going to be there. So we've got all of the thought leaders in this category, this market segment of mailing and fulfillment that are going to be there at the show, on the show floor, and in the pavilion. So we're very, very excited about that because what it means for anybody that's either making money out of being in this industry or wants to explore it or expand it, this is a great way for them to learn as much as possible what's happening in the market today.
Yeah, it sounds like there will be a really substantial presence at the expo this year for that community. And you mentioned that the Postmaster General will be speaking and that there are limited seats. Is that a first come, first serve thing? Because I'm sure people are going to be clamoring to get in those seats. So is it first come, first serve? Do they have to register? How does that work?
It's first come, first serve. So you're going to want to get there early and you're going to want to grab a seat and listen in. I had the good fortune of being at the National Postal Forum event earlier this year and had a chance to listen to the Postmaster General and share some of the insights at that time of what's going on and the investment the organization is making on our behalf as citizens and as marketers. And it's really quite extraordinary what they've been able to do with the Postal Service, with legislation, with changing the composition of the Postal Service in terms of the legal elements and the benefits elements. So it's a very complex story. I was amazed. The U.S. Postal Service has 650,000 employees, and they reach every home in the United States 6 days a week, and in many cases, 7 days a week with package delivery. So that message itself, that last mile from a brand or a marketer, a B2B marketer, a B2C marketer, that last mile for them to use as a marketing tool is truly extraordinary. And even though the rates have been going up for everybody across all delivery channels, the USPS from a comparative cost per delivery is very reasonable, especially given all of the new technologies that are available to marketers and printers to be very specific and very honed in on exactly who gets what, and making sure that those people are still in that residence, or if they've moved where they need to be, or if businesses have moved. So there's a lot to unpack and understand in a 1 hour presentation from the Postmaster General, but it's critical for folks that are in this market to understand it as well as they can so that they can articulate it effectively to their clients and make money out of doing this business, because that's what we're here to do. We're in the business of helping our customers, printers, members of the Printing United Alliance be very, very successful. And that's why we bring such great programming like that.
So it sounds like, there's definitely the educational portion. There's a lot for this community to tap into at the expo. We talked about a little bit about how there's going to be some networking in the packaging pavilion. And I know, something we've talked about in previous podcasts is that people are eager to be back together and to see each other. So, is there some networking opportunities for this community in that area in the pavilion?
So, of course, it's very similar to the packaging pavilion in the sense that there's four corners. There aren't any award-winning mailing pieces that'll be on display there, like there will be packaging that'll be on display in the packaging pavilion. But there are industry leaders that will be in the pavilion. And there are folks from our own staff that are in the mailing and fulfillment equipment and workflow side of things that will be available for conversation and to direct folks to various vendors that are in the marketplace. So yes, those 5 associations that I mentioned earlier will all be there, and their leadership will be there to be of support. There's another group that's also going to be at the show and very close to the mailing and fulfillment pavilion, and that is the GPO, the Government Publishing Office. Used to be the Government Printing Office, but they changed that a few years back to encompass the full scope and depth of print and digital as far as the government's responsibility for disseminating information. We're very thrilled that Hugh Halpern, who is the executive director, in olden days he would have been called the U.S. Public Printer, and Hugh and his team will be there. Actually, he's got 2 teams of folks that are coming. They, as you may know, have a very large implant operation that does a lot of work in the DC area and other locations, but handling the congressional record, the production of passports, and many other official documents of the United States are done in-house and that implant operation. And so a team from the GPO's implant operation is going to be there. But there's also going to be a team, a fairly sizable team, and a 20 by 20 booth on the show floor for the GPO's arm as the largest print buyer in the United States. And in the US, there's about 10,000 printers that are qualified GPO printers. And of those, close to 2,000 of them do work on a regular basis with the GPO. So the team from the GPO partners organization that partners with all the printers will be there. And Hugh himself will be on the show floor on the 20th all day long, meeting with folks and answering any questions that any printer may have about what they can do to do business with the GPO today. And the GPO is very diversified, and many years ago, people thought it was just envelopes and some flats and things of that nature. But the procurement for the GPO for many of the agencies within the federal government is very diversified in terms of the kinds of printing that they are buying across the board. So it's, I think, a worthwhile effort to learn about what the GPO is doing today, all the buying that they are doing today, and how easy it is to do business with them today, not only to learn about jobs that are available, but also how to execute those jobs and, of course, be paid speedily and reliably by the GPO. So it's a great team, and I think that would be another excellent booth for folks to attend and visit and talk to the leadership from the GPO.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's really exciting. And actually, just a side note, a few years ago, I had the opportunity to go down to DC and go to the facility, and it was very impressive. And I will definitely be heading down to that booth to talk to the team and see what's happening. So yeah, great tip there, and very exciting.
Yeah. So those are the, some of the really exciting and dynamic things that we are bringing to each of those market segments, to the packaging community, between the pavilion, the exhibitors, the forum, and the leadership of so many of these great associations. This is really a packaging show. And then for the folks who are in the mailing and fulfillment industry, all of the exhibitors, all of the speakers, the Postmaster General, some of the biggest buyers of buying of print in the market with the GPO. This is really a mailing and fulfillment show. So whatever and if you want to go into either one of those markets, you should come and spend time with this community of experts and leaders and folks that can help you and grow your business and expand into new markets.
Yeah. And brilliantly said, because also, obviously here in this episode, we're talking about packaging and mailing fulfillment specifically, but, it's also an apparel show. And it's also a wide format show. I mean, there's literally something for everyone. Anyone who wants to get into different segments, if they want to go, check out companies and equipment in a specific segment. I mean, the expo is the place to go. So.
Yes. And you'll be there. I'll be there. And many of our great friends in this fabulous industry that we've got the opportunity to be part of. So I'm hoping to see as many folks at the show as possible. Yes, agreed. And I think it's, we've had too many years where we haven't been able to get together and see each other. So it'll be really great for many reasons. Perfect. Ashley, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. Yeah, of course. No, thank you. And come back on the show anytime. Love to have you. All right. Ciao for now. For those interested in attending, I will include a link to the website, which is printingunited.com, in the show notes, where you can find out more and register. I want to thank Chris for joining me on this episode, and thank you to all of you, our listeners. Stay tuned for the next episode of Impressions Xchange podcast.